We may have just figured out all of the Marvel's Avengers characters that are slated to come out, maybe even all of this year. We're going to talk about this data mined list of heroes that we might be getting for Marvel's Avengers right now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Assemble. I am Matt. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for coming back. Welcome to the show. Today we are talking about Marvel's Avengers and the apparent leaked list of characters that has been discovered by Miller over on Twitter, who is a data miner with the video game. If you are new to the show, I would love it if you guys help me out. We are getting to our first 1,000 subscribers. It's very exciting over here. I haven't slept very much. That's okay. Hit the subscribe button, notification bell, ding dong, how you doing? Those types of things all day long. Don't do your work. Hang out with Matt. Talk about Marvel's Avengers together. Do me a favor too. Go check out yesterday's episode. It was so much fun. And you guys were amazing in the comments telling me all about your list of characters that you want to see in Marvel's Avengers. Well, guess what? Now we have a list. Now we have an apparent list. It goes like this. Hawkeye is number 1. As we know, he's coming out March 18th, as well as the next gen upgrade, which we are going to talk about a little bit later on. So stay tuned for that. Then we have Peter Parker. It's Spider-Man time. Then we get into Black Panther, She-Hulk, Winter Soldier, Captain Marvel, and War Machine. So that is the apparent list that has been mined out of the game's data to see what we're gonna get coming out for this video game for DLC content. What do you guys think of this list? Is this what you were hoping for? This has me kind of excited now. Now, we have zero idea of a roadmap. We have no idea what this will look like. We don't think or know if it's going to be a monthly drop. I sincerely doubt it, since we waited several months to get killer robots with Hawkeye. But we are going to be getting, apparently, this list of characters and heroes. And for the most part, this has me excited, and you can kind of tell, possibly, and I'm speculating here, but we might be able to get a good idea now of what it will look like in terms of the DLC and like who's going to be the standouts with like maybe a bigger piece of DLC. The Spider-Man DLC is something that they have been touting since day one, that it is exclusive for PlayStation owners of the video game. And I think that the Peter Parker DLC, that's going to have to be a pretty big heavy hitter. So I kind of wonder if the Clint Hawkeye DLC we're going to get is going to be on like kind of the smaller scale. And then you get a big chunk of DLC when it comes to big characters like Spider-Man. You get these tentpole characters. Black Panther, I hope, would be a big piece of DLC. And then you get characters like She-Hulk and Winter Soldier. Now I'm the optimist. I just want to assume that everything's going to be great and everyone will get massive amounts of DLC and then all the players will be happy like Matt. But you never know. Winter Soldier, She-Hulk might be on the smaller scale of the DLC. And then Captain Marvel and War Machine. You never know. I would think that Captain Marvel, they would probably want to do something bigger. I'd be excited if they were going to get into the cosmos and that we were going to get something that's going to be a little bit more into space and not as grounded. But chances are we would get an open map in a desert where Captain Marvel is going to fly around and kill just more robots. And War Machine, and that does have me excited. I love War Machine. I think he's a fantastic character, and it'd be really cool to see what they would do with the story arc coming out of that. Miller also writes in his Twitter post that, quote, "I don't currently have access to all of the data needed to make this call 100% conclusively, but I'm about 90% sure. If this seems like a departure from the previous update, it is. I'm surprised too. These may be in the opposite order or may release simultaneously." So he's not too sure if this is all going to come out at once or if it's going to be kind of in this order or be mixed around a little bit. And that's why I think that you could probably see it mixed around slightly so that you get like a bigger name character for a bigger piece of DLC content, where we get Hawkeye possibly on a smaller scale. You get massive piece of content with Peter, or you can add in a Winter Soldier DLC for the smaller content, or She-Hulk, and then you can get a big hitter like Black Panther. All of it has me very excited. It's a great day to wake up and get some news about Marvel's Avengers. Too excited to be able to play this game now, and I'm still waiting for Hawkeye for another, month? Not even 3 weeks? Takes too long. The other piece of news that I want to be able to talk to all of you about is going to be the next gen upgrades that have been listed and revealed by the team for Marvel's Avengers, and talking about all of the features that you're going to get from PS4 to PS5. This is PlayStation specifically because they didn't release anything on the Xbox side. And there's one key feature that's got me questioning what's it all going to be like. Now, I want to look at the PlayStation 5 native features that are going to be listed for this thing. So let's go. Maximum resolution. Okay, on PlayStation 5, you've got 60 frames per second, checkerboard 4K, and you've got the native 4K mode. So that kind of tells me that we are probably going to end up getting a option to switch between and toggle between native 4K and 30 FPS, or you can switch over to get a up-res 4K checkerboard with 60 FPS. Now they've done these updates already with Marvel's Avengers, where like I've turned it on and I'm able to get the resolution mode there and the fidelity. So I'm kind of curious as to like what more am I going to see on that front. Native 4K would be good, but I think that a game like that, it can be a little bit faster pace. So the actual 60 frames per second is probably what I like. But let me know what you all think. Do you like 60 frames per second, or do you want the pretty graphics for this title? Okay, next up, we've got cross-gen matchmaking. We've got cross-gen save file format. You're also going to be getting the significantly faster load times. Thank you. The stinking elevators take 20 minutes. Improved frame rates versus the PS4, the higher resolution textures, which is great because then we could probably cut down on a lot of the pop-in textures that we've been getting. Improved heroics and armor destruction versus the PlayStation 4. So hopefully that means that on like when I'm fighting all of these endless waves of robots, that I'm actually going to see more destruction, more damage, and all of that. Stochastic screen space reflections. Now I do wonder then if they are going to or not going to be able to get a full ray tracing built in here, because it's not listed, and the ray tracing was the one feature that I was worried about whether they're going to be able to put that in. So it sounds to me like they're going to do kind of everything but to try and get it to work. So if we're going to get more reflectives and screen reflections as well, that could happen, and that could be pretty good. We're also going to get contact wear sharpening, higher resolution translucency, improved ambient occlusion, improved anisotropic texturing, spatial audio, and the haptic feedback, all on the native next-gen version for the PlayStation 5. So it's great that they're actually going to be coming out now, and they're going to be telling us all of the features that we should be expecting when it comes to our next-gen upgrades, but we don't have anything on the Xbox side. And I got to assume that it's going to be about the exact same list. I am just curious how a Series X would perform and stand up against, you know, the PlayStation 5. That is going to be something that's going to be really telling when it comes to that game, when it's going to get its full update. I like to be able to see what they're going to do online with a lot of the reviewers out there to give us that side-by-side comparison to see how it holds up for frame rates as well as 4K. And is there going to be any difference going between either console? I have it on my PlayStation 5 because I wanted to be able to get Spider-Man, but I want to see what it will do on the Xbox side. So knowing all of this, knowing that we've got a potential list of leaked characters that are mined out, and we've got a list of all of the features and upgrades that we're going to expect, at least on the PlayStation side, for that update coming on March 18th, and we got some Hawkeye DLC. Are you excited? Do you feel it? Are you with me? Does it got you chomping a little bit? And are you slightly still disappointed for various reasons? One of them being that we don't have Wolverine, and that makes me feel like this.
I know how you feel about it, Wolverine, but...
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this episode of Assemble with me. I'm Matt. Do me a favor, subscribe to the show, hit the notification bell, check out more of our content, check out yesterday's show where we covered our top 10 heroes that we want to see in the game, and you guys gave some of your amazing picks for your top 10. So let me know about that. Who do you like to see in the game outside of this apparent leaked list? Thank you so much for joining us here on the show today, and as always, thank you guys for assembling with us. See ya.